How are we, guys? Welcome back to today's video. We're just going to be cutting, edging and finishing some veneer boards today. So while I explain to you how we all do that, let's get on to showing you.
Let's get started into cutting our boards. Just make sure when you are cutting them that you leave enough room for your edge banding to build everything up to the right width or height that you're going for. I always pre-sand mine a little bit and then use a chisel to cut the edge banding out. I use a chisel just because I can apply pressure downwards and it'll give a nice clean cut. Now there's two ways you can edge band. I choose the iron-on method. The other way is just with some contact adhesive. It's pretty simple, but just making sure you have a little bit extra on either side just to make it where you can cut and plane down to size instead of having the wrong bits, meaning you have to recut or do whatever you have to do. And I just use a block plane to get everything down to its thickness. I know a lot of people use utility knives, and that's totally fine. After I've planed everything down, I hit everything with a 120 just before I start hand sanding. It's just to remove any of that glue squeeze out that's going on to any other edge banding bits. And of course, hand sanding is the most important part of every process, even though everyone hates it. But it makes everything nice and smooth. Making sure you break those edges is very important as well. And when applying coats of finish, I always apply my first coat much thicker than my second and third. And when you spray, make sure you're covering the previous pass by about 50%. You'll see me doing it here, just nice long sweeping passes. Now that makes everything go nice and smoothly, have a nice consistent finish. And then in between finishes, making sure you're sanding at what the finish usually recommends. It's usually somewhere between 240 and upwards, especially if you're using something like a polyacrylic finish or some type of varnish that builds layers on top, rather than an oil which seeps in and hardens into the timber that way. Now, all this is a nice quick little tutorial video. If you need anything to go into further depth, please leave it in the comments.
Okay, that brings us to the end of the video. Hopefully you have successfully cut, edged, and finished some veneer boards. Now you can do whatever you want with these veneer boards, or you can just stare at it and look at your fabulous work. Now, if you've liked the video, please drop a like on it and subscribe if you feel so inclined. Other than that, hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.